Mr. Chairman, he's joining me now from our Buffalo studio to talk more about this. How are you?
I'm doing great, Liz. How are you?
I am well, thanks. So you really are in a position to be a kingmaker, arguably, in 4 years. And that is because of this sort of strange weighted vote situation that we have in the state GOP.
Well, that's what they tell me. We base this on the gubernatorial turnout on the Republican line in Erie County stood strong in the general election for our hometown candidate, Carl Palladino, and we had substantial votes on the Republican line. And we've delivered a strong Republican vote for all of our candidates.
Well, actually, there were 12 counties that Carl Palladino managed to carry in the general election, although he really lost by a landslide, but they were all out in the western part of the state. And it used to be that Nassau and Suffolk and Westchester were sort of the areas that were the powerhouse of the GOP, and now it's completely turned on its head. So what do you think that means going forward? Does that mean that in 4 years we're definitely going to see another upstate contender for governor?
Well, I don't know. 4 years is obviously a lifetime. I mean, we have some excellent potential candidates down the road, but Nassau and Suffolk County obviously are still very substantial stakeholders in the overall state party. I mean, they produced a very significant amount of votes for the Palladino candidacy and all of the down ballot as well. So I think that we need to work together as a state, not just really create regional factions. But you know, I do believe that you're seeing a shift a little bit more with the more conservative base of our party, which is upstate, and particularly in Western New York.
This is actually kind of amazing because you've only been chairman since the spring, and you were the youngest person to take that position for Erie County. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And what are you going to do with all your newfound power?
Well, we're really going to focus on our county legislative and re-electing our county executive, Chris Collins, next year as we face countywide elections, which become our ultimate priority.
Tell us, though, have you heard from Carl Palladino? Because he really has really kept a low profile since the general election. Have you spoken to him at all?
I certainly have. I had dinner with him about a week ago and spoken to him on the phone a couple of times. He's doing well. He's getting back to business, and I think after a long campaign trail, he's earning a little bit of rest and relaxation.
Do you think he's disappointed that he still hasn't gotten that concession phone call from Andrew Cuomo?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about that, but you would hope that in any sort of race, you know, candidates do the right thing.
Well, actually, I should say the phone call was made by Carl Palladino, right? The concession call was made by Carl Palladino,
right,
as is traditional, and the governor-elect has not responded to him, and at this point it seems probably like he's not going to. Does that mean anything to you? I know you say that candidates should do the right thing, but the fact that even after the election this snub was delivered, it's sort of like, what does that mean?
Well, I think it speaks volumes, and it speaks for itself.
You're going to avoid that one?
It speaks for itself. I mean, it's in poor form.
You tell me, though, you also have a Senate race. What's the latest there with the Antoine Thompson and Mark Grisanti situation?
Absolutely. We're about to start opening absentee ballots in Erie County. I mean, this is a district, the 60th Senate district, where incumbent Antoine Thompson, we felt him to be vulnerable. We recruited a candidate, Mark Grisanti, who you know, actually is a Democrat turned Republican, it really represented us well. We saw a path to victory as you know, Senator Thompson had continued to be mired in misstep after misstep, and then was embroiled in the AEG scandal. So we poured significant resources into the race, and we had some partnership from the state Senate. And I believe that when the ballots are counted, the lead is going to remain, and Mark Grisanti is going to be the 32nd state senator.
So he actually has switched his party enrollment at this point. It's just he did it too late for it to take effect for this particular election?
Yes, he did. When he approached me shortly after I was elected chairman, he asked for our nomination, and I asked him to join the Republican Party, which he was happy to do. And you know, with the state election law, until you're a member of the party, you were until after the election. So on election day, the day after, he became a Republican.
There is actually, and I got to go here with you, even though I know that we've spoken about it on numerous occasions, because now you have this newfound clout out in Western New York. What are you interested in terms of the state party? You have been talked about as a potential chairman contender. Will you do it at some point ever?
some point ever. I mean, I try not to speculate too far down the line, but I haven't really given much consideration to that. We've really been focused on the counting of absentee ballots and the legal challenges that will go on here. You know, it's going to be a long holiday season, so you know, maybe we'll talk about things in January. But I don't currently have any plans to pursue any higher office than I currently hold.
Because today we're getting some news that there was a bit of a shakeup at the state GOP. The spokesman, the communications director, Alex Carey, who's actually worked for Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty prior to coming to here, although he is a Westchester native, has resigned. I think that there was sort of a power struggle inside the party. Do you believe that Ed Cox made the right decision here?
Well, I don't know with any firsthand knowledge what exactly happened within the staff. I think Alex is a capable staffer and served the party well. I wish him well in whatever future endeavors he does. I assume he will go on to do something with Governor Pawlenty's presidential efforts down the road. But you know, undoubtedly, after a tough election season, there's at state parties and political organizations all over the place, there's generally staff changes and people come and go for other opportunities. I'm really not sure the nature of any sort of power struggle, but you know, hopefully we can refocus our efforts and get a staff at our state party headquarters that is focused directly on aiding important and pivotal county elections in the year to come.
Do you believe that the state party did enough to help candidates throughout the state? I mean, particularly in your neck of the woods, you had some success, you had great turnout. Did the state party have anything to do with that at all?
We basically function on our own here. I will say that my predecessor, as he had elections in 2009, was aided by some funding from the state committee. In 2010, the Get Out the Vote operations were all paid for by the Erie County Republican Committee.
Interesting. Well, Chairman, we will be catching up to you soon, I'm sure, because there's going to be a lot of action out in Western New York with the Republicans. I want to thank you very much, Nick Langworthy, for talking to us.
Thank you.